Monday, friends. Welcome back to another week of hot news. Hope you're doing well. Things might be a little crazy this week. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put out episodes every single day this week. My son's going in for surgery, likely tomorrow, and then his hospital stay is dependent on what the heck's going on. And because of COVID, I actually can't go be with him in the hospital. Only my wife can be there, and we can't swap out, so I have to stay home with the older kids. So it's going to be a whole crazy situation in my personal life. And if you care about that, great. If you don't, we have timestamps for you to skip everything that I'm talking about right now. So let's skip me talking about that crap and let's go ahead and talk about the fact that Intel might be going into surgery themselves, going under the knife of getting rid of their graphics department. Yes, we're going to talk about this quickly. Apparently, there's new information coming out from Adore TV talking about the fact that Arctic Sound, which is that little GPU that we've seen from Intel, isn't living up to hopes, and they're going to rebrand it and they're going to get rid of it, and it's not going to be great. So the major thing is that the Arctic Sound DG1 is not performing well. Not a single OEM wants to make it, according to these rumors. But not only that, there's the information that Ponte Vecchio is going to get dropped. And then there's also the information that Raja Koduri is going to be leaving Intel because Bob Swan just wants to get rid of him altogether. To which you might say, wait, didn't they just get rid of their chief engineering officer? Wouldn't they have gotten rid of Raja Koduri at the same time? Well, apparently in this press release where they got rid of the CEO and they said that Raja Koduri was staying on as the software and graphics lead, he was one of two employees mentioned in this press release to not get new responsibilities with everything that's been taken over, which apparently means that he likely will be axed at some point because Bob Swan, who is the new chief executive officer of Intel since the previous one left due to other reasons, he is fiscally minded and wants to make sure that they're cutting the departments that aren't living up to snuff. And it appears that the graphics department is one of them, which leads us to the last little big part of it, which is Project Z. It will be officially dead. The high-end graphics cards and the high-performance compute chips that we've been seeing Raja Koduri leak by showing how big they are and the size of his hands, basically taking up the entire size of his palm, those will be gone. So Intel Z graphics will not be coming out because Bob Swan views it as a financial burden and not as something that's actually going to perform really well in the long term. So Project Z dead? Maybe? I don't know. This is the only information that I could find out about it was Adore TV's article on this, so there's not a whole lot of confirmation. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation going on with regards to the fact that we don't have any clear information on this. Raja Koduri was just reaffirmed to be the head of the graphics department, and just kind of like AMD always constantly having to say, no, Zen 3 still coming out this year. Stop saying that it's going to be delayed, even though we just said it's coming out. It could be another one of those scenarios where Raja Koduri is still going to be the head of the graphics department, and Intel, we're still going to be getting dedicated GPUs from them. We're still going to have an Intel versus AMD versus Nvidia rivalry. Stop suggesting otherwise. That could potentially be it, or it could be, as Adore TV's source would say, that it likely will just be soon that Raja Koduri will be let go of and Project Z will just be dead in the water. So what do you think about this? Let me know. Were you excited to get Intel graphics? Did the DG1 that they unveiled not necessarily pique your interest? And I just want to call out just completely randomly, I had no plans on doing this, the Adore TV merchandise. I find this coffee cup hilarious. Waiting on Polaris Vega Navi RDNA 2. That's perfect. I love that. That's phenomenal. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit more Intel trouble. They're being accused of infringing on patents with regards to FinFET designs over in China. We'll see if this actually comes out to being anything, but they are getting sued for $28.6 million. The patent lawsuits are a dime a dozen, and we'll have to see if this actually bears any water as it progresses. And we'll have to see if this bears any water as it progresses, because while the Intel, AMD, Nvidia GPU competition might be in question, the Intel, AMD, and Nvidia CPU battle is getting more hotly on the way, with Nvidia apparently being in advanced talks to acquire ARM from SoftBank. We talked about this in an episode of Hot News last week, that Nvidia CPUs could be on the way if they take over ARM for, I believe it's supposed to be $32 billion. This Bloomberg report that's coming out that's new is essentially saying that the preliminary, hey, we want to buy it, has already been passed, and now it's like the actual, how much are we going to do this for? Is this going to be cash or stock options? How is this going to work with antitrust stuff. They're figuring all of that out now. So Intel, AMD, Nvidia CPUs. It's going to be exciting times. And it's exciting times in the world of TikTok, whether or not you are on the platform, you hate the platform, whatever. Nobody knows what's going on because we could have talked about this on Friday, but we wouldn't have had all the details at that point. There was rumors that were coming out that ByteDance was going to have to sell off the US version of TikTok in order for them to remain in the United States. Then it came out on Saturday that President Donald Trump was not only considering banning TikTok, he was going to ban TikTok that day. So TikTok was going to be gone over the weekend, at which point we got information that apparently Microsoft was in rumors to buy them, and then Microsoft released a blog post saying they are in discussions with President Donald Trump on the acquisition of TikTok and that it will likely be complete by September 15th in order to make sure that TikTok isn't in the hands of a Chinese company reporting user data to the CCP and instead is an American company reporting information to American corporations which hold the hands of American politics, supposedly, allegedly. So that's essentially where it stands now. Microsoft saving TikTok for now. But if we could just take a look at Microsoft's track record of things that they have a handle on, they're not really good at this kind of stuff. I could point you to the Zune. I could point you to Mixer. I could point you to, honestly, the Xbox hasn't performed phenomenally well. Honestly, they haven't really had a great track record of keeping things alive that they own that are good. Skype, another good example of a trash service. But then also, this is kind of unique because TikTok is a market leader when it comes to a certain type of social media, having over 1 billion users. It just means it's going to take Microsoft longer to kill it off. Hopefully they leave it in the hands of the same executive team that's been working on it and they don't try to get involved, but more than likely they will, in which case TikTok was either going to be dead over the weekend or it's going to be dead in the next few years. So in case you want a TikTok to die, TikTok is over party. Hashtag. I feel awkward saying that. And I'm not going to feel awkward about picking up the Apple Watch Series 6, which is supposed to be coming out with the iPhone 12. There's new reports indicating that it's going to have a blood oxygen sensor, which is phenomenal for somebody who has asthma and would like to make sure that he's constantly monitoring it, but doesn't want to have an O2 sensor on his finger. Having one in my watch seems really good. And I would totally pick one up just for this. And this kind of feature shows just how far advanced Apple Watches are over Android Wear. It's just, they're not even in the same ballpark. Apple continuously adding features that make sense for a wearable device. Wear OS adding hardware acceleration for watch faces. Great stuff. Not Wear OS, Android Wear, whatever the heck it's called. I don't care anymore. And you might care about Silent Hill because there's a new official Twitter account that got posted, got created. It's official, which gets people thinking that Silent Hill could be coming out for the PS5 and they just have to announce it. Why won't you announce it, Konami? What the heck is going on? Silent Hill Twitter. Fanning the flames of the rumor. Let's fan the flames of Florida Man because Florida Man has been arrested for that Twitter Bitcoin hack that happened a couple of weeks ago. 3 individuals being charged, one being arrested in Tampa, others being charged in the UK as well as Orlando. They are being accused of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and the intentional access of a protected computer. So it's Florida Man at it again. Young guys at the hands of this hack, which, dang, they didn't make much off of it to then have all of these charges laid against them. I think it was only like $100,000 in Bitcoin, which isn't great considering the fact that you had access to some of the top accounts in the world. I don't know. I'm not a hacker, so I don't really get to crap on them for this. And I'm not going to crap on Netflix for this move because I've wanted this forever. Netflix confirming that it's bringing playback speed controls to its Android app. You can slow it down to 1/2 times, or you can ramp it up to 1.5 times, which isn't as fast as I would like for my taste. I tend to like watching stuff at least 2 times speed. I am one of those heathens who doesn't necessarily care about watching everything in real time and picking everything up. I make sure that I watch all of my YouTube videos in at least 3 times speed. If it's one of my own, it's in like 5 to 6 because I understand my voice. So having Netflix getting up to the 1.5 times option is great. I already have a plugin on my Chrome extension that allows me to go up to 16 times. I can't comprehend that. Netflix, solid 2. I would totally do that. Having it in the app means that I'm going to watch more Netflix on my phone. It's great. And what was great is SpaceX Crew Dragon made the historic landing in the Gulf of Mexico with the U.S. crew coming down pretty gently into the Gulf of Mexico. The landing of the U.S. astronauts happened. They're still alive. Everything went as well as it could have gone. So yes, reusable spacecrafts. They're here. They're real. Speaking of Elon Musk's company, Tesla is apparently working on a more affordable Model Y, which currently starts at $50,000 for the all-wheel drive dual motor edition. They're working on a single motor rear-wheel drive, which would hopefully get it closer down to that $40,000 region. Still not the cheapest Tesla. The Model 3 coming in, I believe it's $38,000 for the rear-wheel drive standard long range plus, I think it's called, something like that. I don't really remember, but more affordable electric cars from Tesla. It's exciting stuff, but this isn't affordable. Corsair introducing its Hydro X series water cooling kits. They look great. The difference is the type of pump it looks like that you get. You can either get the small boy right here, or you can get the big boy with the tube reservoir right there. So kind of expensive, coming in at €580 for the big boy and €500 for the small boy. That's heckin' expensive. Holy heck. You get a CPU block, tubing, a 360 rad, 3 fans, and then the pump. That's insane. That's way too much money. Damn. Is what people are going to be saying about Battletoads. Got announced that's coming out August 20th, Windows 10, Xbox Game Pass, and Steam. Yes, official launch trailer coming out, release date trailer happening. Battletoads is real, coming out later this month. You can get excited for that, and you can get excited for the end of this episode of Hot News. Thank you so much for tuning in, my friends. I didn't mention at the beginning, but we're not doing our daily Hot News live streams over on Twitch this week, again, because of the surgery thing. But if you want to follow us over on Twitch for those Hot News live streams, so you can be ready for next week, potentially, when we come back. We'll see how long he's in the hospital. Anyways, yes, I thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, all of that YouTube thing, and goodbye.